over under on if Mustafa is even alive. What are we thinking right now? Because y'all start bringing out a cardboard cutout of the man, and I start to get real worried. Okay, like, how much do you think he's actually alive right now? That's number one, because I have questions. Number two, everything you were saying earlier was making me think about how it would be really good if you maybe on the live show or something like actually talked about how the system of the religious authority within Shia Islam works, because a lot of people have a really bad understanding of that. Like, what does it mean to be a marja? Like, why is that important? What is this chain of emanation? Like, who even cares? Like, talking about how Khamenei himself faked his religious credentials would just be really fun, and then talking about how Mushtaba's religious credentials were, like, openly faked. But I tried to pull up on Polymarket to see if Polymarket even thinks that he's alive. I don't know. People are saying they're betting 57% chance that he makes a public appearance by the end of the month. I don't know,
50
bro.
what?
Polymarket is saying 51%, 57% chance, up 5%, that he will make a public appearance by the 31st.
Wow. So, yeah, I mean, we know, it seems like we know that he was targeted. That we know. We know that his kid, his father and mother, his sister, his wife died in the attack. Assuming that he was next to them, then that means that, you know, if he's alive, he survived something that killed like a lot of his family. We know that he's injured, probably injured because the Islamic Republic calls him a John Buzz, right? So the reason why, I mean, we're not seeing him right now, maybe he's, I don't know, disfigured or like what happened. We know, like, a lot of people are saying he lost his leg. But when it comes to the cardboard cutout, is that video, because I know there's two videos. Okay, there's one cardboard cutout with a cutout, which is just his picture, and that is real. But the other one with his full body cardboard cutout, like, is that real? Some people are saying it's fake, but it's being posted by so many places that we usually consider to be like, let me actually show it to you guys. Because if this is a fake, this is the best AI fake video I've ever seen in my life. So let's switch this. Wait, this is, let me stop the music. Oh, yeah. Let's switch it again. Help me out, guys. Is this fake?
Dude, I think it's real. I think it's real because I saw other photos of the guy that was holding that, and it's like very, very high crisp image of that guy.
Yeah.
Like, so there I don't I'm not 100% sure, but I've seen other photos from that event, and it's like close-ups of that man and his face that look way, way, way too crisp to be AI. I think it's real.
Yeah.
'Cause
If
The
this is
movement on
AI,
the cardboard as well is so accurate, like, look at the head and the lower like, as they move together, the reflection of the light, that is real.
yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, if this is AI, I mean, the Allah and the flags don't change, and they are usually in AI. Something so detailed moves a little bit, or is not constant. Like, you see, the Allah is like
Well, and the
Allah
calligraphy
on
in
the,
the background looks right. Normally, it has a hard
yeah,
time with calligraphy that is that detailed.
and it's a video. It's not like an image. Usually, like sometimes if it's so, I don't know if this is AI. This is the best AI video I've ever seen. If it is AI, so somebody, I'm I'm glad that these people are so ridiculous that we think that this could be. What a time to be alive! That this could actually be real. But wow, somebody somebody figured this out, because I don't know if it's real or not.
I
Okay.
mean, isn't it the same footage where they brought his picture like in a frame because like
No,
they
yeah, that's
couldn't
that
bring
that
him?
one is real. That one, yeah,
No,
that's
no,
what I
no.
mentioned
I know
earlier.
it's real. I just curious if this video took from the same like from the same
Yeah.
stage when they brought his portrait.
Yeah, it is the same stage. I know, I could tell that it's the same stage. But yeah, I can't. We need to, somebody please figure this out. I mean, Tusi is posting it as real. Open source Intel is posting it as real. I mean, if it's not real, so many people fell for it. Okay, so yeah, Gemini, I think is AI. I mean, Gemini is not good. I've been giving real video that I've taken, like real video that I recorded myself to Gemini, asked it if it's real, and Gemini has told me it's AI. So I don't, I don't trust AI right now with figuring out what's AI. I was like, what do you mean it's AI? I recorded it.
I'm really, I'm really curious.
What- Well, let's go focus on
Okay.
the topic that we're like. Yeah. So by the way, I just want to ask Susie, what do you think? Like, do you like? How do you? What do you think regarding him being alive or dead? Like, do you have any?
Dude, I mean, it's real sketchy. I think it would be very much, like, to their advantage to have him be, like, alive, but only in cardboard. Like, I genuinely think it would be to their advantage to fake that he's alive so that they can be doing what they want to do, like, in his name, but not have to ever produce him. But a kind of a follow-up question is, like, there is no way that the cult of personality that surrounded Ali Khamenei, because as much as we hate him, he did genuinely have a cult of personality around him, so did Khomeini. There's no way that Mustafa has this same cult of personality at all.
He
So,
doesn't.
they're kinda screwed either way.
Yeah. And okay, so let me talk about the. Do I have time to talk about this other thing that you're asking regarding the ranks, the religious ranks that people have, right?
Yeah, if you
Let me
wanna
just
talk about
go.
it. You don't have to do it
Okay,
today.
so let me just quickly do this because this is actually interesting. We have Mujtahid, we have Ayatollah, we have Marja, right? Who's your, like, we have a joke like, who's your Marja? Right. Anyways, okay,
"Who is
so
your Marja?" This is what Shias say to each other when they're, like, accusing each other of being part of, like, bad, and they're like, "Who do
yeah.
you follow? Who do you follow? Who is your Marja?" Like, they're like, "This man is sus. Like, I don't trust him. Who does he follow?" It's a whole conspiracy. Shias have conspiracies against other Shias. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. So Mujtahid, this is a scholar who has reached a level of ijtihad. Ijtihad is somebody who could, like, the gates of ijtihad has opened. I'm not going to go into that, right? So this basically means that this person in real life, it means that this person has studied fiqh, fiqh, which is Islamic law, right? And theology, jurisprudence for decades, and basically they're deemed qualified to interpret Islamic sources independently. Like, they don't need to use somebody else. They're a source of information for what Islam actually says, right? They do basically. A mujtahid is somebody who no longer follows another scholar's ruling. They make their own ruling. So that's the mujtahid. And then we have ayatollah, which literally means ayat means sign. Allah means God. So sign of God. Like, ayatollah means that you're literally proof of God's existence. Like, you're a sign of God, right? Like in the Quran, the verses of the Quran are called ayah because each verse is a proof of God's existence. So this is actually, if I was a Sunni, I would be very offended that somebody is calling themselves a sign of God, given that ayah is something you usually refer to like the
Or Ruhollah.
yeah.
Ruhollah
So,
Khomeini was bold. That's a
or
bold choice of
yeah,
words.
Ruhollah. Yeah, spirit of God. Yeah, that's pretty shirky. So Ayatollah is basically this is a really highly prestigious title granted to recognize Mujtahid. So Mujtahid is first, and then if you're really recognized, who is widely respected, teaches advanced seminary classes. So the teaching part is important. You can't be just teaching like low level seminary classes. You have to go really advanced, and you have to also show that you have a strong following, which neither Khamenei or Mujtaba, neither Ali Khamenei or Mujtaba Khamenei showed before before they became the supreme leader. So they technically should not be ayatollahs. Like Khomeini, for example, he was an ayatollah. Like, he was like definitely Ayatollah. But Khamenei and Mujtaba, when they first became Ayatollah, people were like, who? So they weren't as recognized as a mujtahid for them to be considered an Ayatollah, right? I mean, nobody like Mujtaba is like we haven't even seen him as much. So how has he managed to become? He's basically speed run through like becoming an Ayatollah. And then we have Marja. Marja is basically like a grand Ayatollah, right? Meaning he's a source of emulation, which is also kind of offensive if I was a Sunni Muslim, because Muhammad is supposed to be the only source of emulation. But this is the absolute highest rank, which is a Marja is an Ayatollah, like Ayatollah Sistani, for example, in Iraq, right? Is a Marja Ayatollah who has published, which is basically a manual of Islamic ruling, and has a massive following of everyday Shia Muslims who emulate their religious rulings, right? So, for example, if I was Sistani, which is a proper Marja in Iraq, I would like look at Khamenei, I don't know, like as such a like a university student compared to a professor, right? Like if I was Sistani, every time people would refer to Khamenei as a marja, I would be basically laugh inside, like this pathetic, like he doesn't understand Islam. In fact, not only like actually Khomeini has famously told Khamenei that he hasn't even began to understand the concept of Vilayat Faqih. This is the most insulting thing that Khomeini one day told Khamenei, that he has no understanding of the concept of guardianship of the jurist or the Vilayat Faqih. And that was on record, right? And not that many people know that because that's such a big, that's such a big insult, right? Ali Khamenei and his status. Like maybe I could talk about this later because this is getting long, but we could talk about the controversy and the how he faked being an ayatollah and how he wasn't. I mean, Khamenei, when they picked him as the supreme leader, this has been recorded on video. Like we have a video of that. The Khamenei is saying that I'm from a religious perspective, I'm not actually qualified to be the supreme leader. He said that. We have videos of that, right? And those videos were supposed to be secret, but eventually they were leaked. And he said, even looking around him, that there are people here. So Hashemi Rafsanjani made him the supreme leader. And Hashemi Rafsanjani in that video says this is just temporary, right? He said this is temporary. Like when Khamenei said, well, I'm not qualified religiously to be the supreme leader, and this violates the constitution of the Islamic Republic, Hashemi Rafsanjani says, like, it's okay, this is temporary. We'll figure this out later. But eventually, not only did it became permanent, Khamenei killed Hashemi Rafsanjani eventually. The person that made Khamenei the supreme leader, Khamenei eventually, when he gained absolute power with the help of the IRGC, eventually killed Hashemi Rafsanjani, the person that basically put him in power. Anyways, I think that's too much, like enough detail for today. We could get into more details later. By the way, I love how much Susie loved these things. Like I really enjoy. Like I remember when I was talking about how much how these courses, how important these courses are, I could see her in the background going like this, and I really enjoy the fact that Susie enjoys these details.
Dude, the girls are
Right.
fighting. They're over in the corner like, your shoes, whack. Your clothes, whack. Your understanding of the guardianship of the jurist, whack.
Love that. Okay.